What is up, guys? Rick Hackis here, and welcome to the KSG Diamond Camo Guide for the shotguns. And I'm going to be honest right off the bat. First of all, I hope you have watched the other two commentaries on the R870 and the S12. If you don't want to watch the S12, that's fine, but I do recommend watching the R870 one for sure because I go over a lot of general shotgun tips and the classes that I make for the R870. A lot of the stuff that I say applies to this gun too, so I'd recommend watching that video. Now, the KSG, I'm going to be completely honest. I hate the KSG with every bone in my body. I absolutely despise it. Now, saying that, I ended up getting gold camo for it, and I ended up having a positive kill death with it in the end. The reason I don't like it is because does not suit my playstyle. I play super aggressive with the shotguns, and the KSG requires a definitely more a slower approach to combat, which I just do not want to do with a shotgun. So that's why I hate it. It is not a bad gun in its own right. Statistically, it's probably the best shotgun, but I just hate it. And I'm gonna have some general tips for it. First of all, the range is pretty insane. It should be probably on screen about now what the one-shot kill range is. However, keep in mind, this is the maximum one-hit kill range. If I took one step back, I would be getting two-shot kills. And if you have to shoot twice the KSG, it is unlikely you're going to survive. There's basically the range with the KSG I would describe as being closer than you think. Commentators who say this is a medium range gun are simply wrong. You should not be using this gun medium range because if you shot someone, they could turn on you with an SMG before you even have time to pump your shotgun to get the second round off. Basically, if you try to use this gun medium range, you're going to be competing with the SMGs, which you do not want to do. The SMGs are extremely useful in this game and extremely powerful, and so you do not want to be competing with a gun that shoots one bullet and then takes a second break just to shoot another one. Like, it is really important that you kind of get a little bit closer, try to stay within the one-hit kill range, and pop your shots from there. Also, huge tip, aim down sights. Always. You do not want to hip fire. Basically, if you try to hip fire with this gun, it is essentially like running around and trying to get nothing but no scopes with for the sniper rifle. Now, the sniper rifle is a lot more inaccurate, but still, it is kind of the same thing because remember that the shot will go anywhere within the hip fire circle, and it is technically a circle. It is not a square, and so even if you have almost in your entire thing just barrel stuffing the guy, but there's one little corner that's like between his arms or something, the bullet could go there and miss him. Also, very important to remember that you don't want to drop shot with this gun. You don't want to crouch and then shoot with this gun, because while you are going down, either from standing to crouch or from crouching to prone or from standing to right to prone for like through crouch, if you're up and you're going down, as soon as you go once down, so from standing to crouch, your shot will be as if you are hip firing, even if you are zooming down sights. And the reason for this is to nerf drop shotting. So SMGs, basically, that's why a lot of people can still drop shot with SMGs, because you're usually close anyways, and the hip fire is pretty decent, so it doesn't make a difference. But for a gun like this, where you only have one shot, you want to make sure you stay standing or stay crouching. Going from crouching to standing or from prone to crouch to stand, that has no effect. But make sure you're not crouching and then shooting right away. You want to stay standing with this gun. Also, general tip, just kind of back to zooming down sights. A lot of the classes, you're going to see the class is basically made completely to be able to cater to aiming down sights. And I'm going to talk more in depth about the attachments there, but I just want to reiterate that you do not want to hip fire, aim down sights, and then enter the room. With the other shotguns, with the R870, I don't really, when you're entering, the house on Nuketown, I don't bother to aim down sights until I'm already in the house and I already see guys. With the KSG, it's completely different. You want to aim down sights when there's no enemies, and then so when you encounter enemies, you're already aiming down sights. That's my definite tip for you. Alright, enough with this, on to recommended classes. So for the KSG, this is kind of the normal class I would use. KSG, long barrel on stock. Now, any of these could be replaced with quick draw. Laser sight, don't use it because You should not be hip firing. It may save you a couple of times, but anything to help with aiming down sights is really important. Again, don't use a secondary to force me to use the shotgun most of the time. Ghost, lightweight, but this could easily be replaced with flak jacket. In fact, flak jacket is more preferable than lightweight because you're going to be aiming down sights a lot with this gun, in which lightweight doesn't really come into effect that much. So toughness, much more important on this class because you have one shot and you can't be flinching. Dexterity and tactical mask, and then no lethals and tacticals. For the cherry blossom camo, which is no attachments, obviously the gun, no attachments, and kind of the same perk setup, and then I just have a bouncing Betty and an EMP grenade. Now, for the Art of War, I would definitely go with long barrel and stock and quick draw. Now, the reason why none of these have the reflex sight, which a lot of people do recommend, is because the iron sights are good enough, and the reflex sight, like, I did run a lot of this with the reflex sight, but you're going to be closer than you think, because like the KSG does drop from 200 down to 75 in an instant drop, and when you get to that 75, you hit a guy once, you're fucking screwed. There is absolutely nothing you can do about it. You need to be hitting those 200, so you need to be closer than you think. You need to still run this close range, and at those ranges, the iron sights are going to be good enough. Frankly, you're going to get more kills from the long barrel than the reflex sight, in my experience. Now, again, if you are a huge fan of the reflex sight, you could put it on in place of any of these things. Secondary is kind of useless. I don't use it with this. I use it for all the other ones, but I don't use it for this because the KSG has such a huge magazine that you basically you will almost always die before you need to reload, even if you're getting bloodthirsties. So instead, I go with the danger close wild card, so I can have 2 semtexes and 2 concussions. Now these can be replaced with anything else that you would prefer. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe for more great Black Ops 2 content. And if you really enjoyed, please share. And tune in next time for the M1216, the final chapter. Just kidding, that sounds super lame. And as always, have a nice day.